Okay, it's a little bit later. I had just gotten done messing with the Dell XPS 13, putting a new wireless card in it. And the primary thing that I wanted to do today, actually, from the get-go, was to work with and make this a little bit more usable. And what this is a amplified or powered loop antenna. Okay, I don't think we need Mr. Microphone or Mr. Magnifying glass anymore, lighted magnifying glass. I don't think we'd be digging for parts anymore. So basically, these blue wires, while they are pretty rigid, they do flex. And what I'm trying to accomplish here is would be the top of the loop. This would be the bottom. Okay, you see that, and that's the bottom. This would have a coax cable leading from it into this preamp, powered preamp. Okay, would come in this side, and this side SMA connector. These are all SMA connectors here. Would go into your SDR device, dongle, whatever you have, the ham up, whatever. So the problem is that I want the circle to retain its circular shape when suspended, and or even just freestanding in the air on another pole that would be, say, coming up this way. Okay, and the true circle, or as close to a true circle as I can make it happen. To achieve that, what I elected to do was to go get some PVC, some half-inch or whatever this is, half-inch PVC, and with that I will be cutting a length of this equal to two lengths of this equal to the length of these cords, stopping just about here. So I'm not putting a whole bunch of pressure on the connection, but it is providing resistance from the weight of the entire assembly, turning the loop into basically a glorified J-pole. So I'm going to get at measuring and marking and cutting and assembling, and the first little section here I'll be doing the marking. So I'll get right back to you. Alright, I'm back, and as much as I don't want to admit it, I did a basic mistake. One would think that you would measure each one of these arms or radials or segments of rigid cable and make sure that the piece of conduit or tubing that you're using, and I'm also using PVC because you don't want to have anything that's going to interfere with the signal, like copper tubing or anything like that, but you do want the rigidity to make it a little bit stiffer. So now I've seen people make a cross, an X, and just span it across these with a notch, and I may wind up doing that exact thing, but for right now let's just see how it works. They're a little bit short, these tubes are a little bit short of what I wanted them to be, but we're going to go for, move ahead a little bit here and see if it will not, maybe put a little bend in them, casual, percussive maintenance, to get them to assume a different shape and form the curves, the outside curves of the loop. I'll be right back with you. Now for this little segment, I was going to run downstairs and simply get the PVC cutter and do it the right way, but I figured why not just live life a little dangerously and use the handy dandy Mr. Sharp razor knife and save a trip up and down the stairs chasing down boo-boos. And basically, I hope this is all in the screen or in the frame. Just roll it and put a nice little notch in it. I mean, I know that this isn't a no, I didn't score it deep enough. Try to hit the same mark. It'd be easier if I was using my right hand, since, you know, right-handed. But I set the little camera up here, so I'm pretty much, you know, I'm in. I believe I'm in frame, in focus. And let's just do this. Now, would I recommend this? No. I would use the proper tools every single time, but it does work. Okay, so the reason that I've cut it shorter is I've gone and actually assembled the loop, and it's apparent that if I had to put this rigid PVC around here, I'd have been putting so much stress on these connections, I'd have probably broken the solder loose, and then I'm without a antenna, period. Even one that I'm not particularly happy with, the way it's, you know, as flexible as it is, its own weight is pulling it around. So what I decided to do is cut this down and just lay it across that way, and then again that way, and I will use rubber bands to put the two together to make a cross shape. So let me cut back to that when I'm done. Okay, here we are in the final stages of what I'm going to do with this for right now. And basically what I've done is, while it's not the perfect circle that I wanted it to be, I've used rubber bands to adhere it to the top of this pole and to the midpoint of the pole. And basically what I've had to do was take a tripod and the normal 3/8 inch screw that they use to mount cameras to this, I removed. And you may not be able to tell it, but this used to be, I believe they called it a fire stick, a CB antenna that was broke off at the end, up at the other end. And this was the tuning end, where you could actually tune the antenna by adjusting the screw in and out of the end of the antenna. And what I've done is actually remove the, I guess that would be a cold shoe, and replaced this screw with the same exact thread screw that was used as an adjustment. I just ran it up through the bottom of this plate, giving it a little bit more rigidity and structural integrity. Now of course this isn't going to be for hurricane weather force winds, but what it will allow me to do is to get it up in the air and move it over here. It's trying to record it away from, there you go, that's a little better picture. Now again, it's not a perfect circle, and it probably would be better suited to be over here on the window, but for right now that's just not in the cards. So the feed line will come off of here. A piece of coaxial SMA connection will come down and feed over to the powered section of this, and it will in turn feed into a SDR card that is in turn plugged into the laptop that you just probably saw me fix. So it's up in the air. It's at least not just hanging and being completely misshapen into the shape of a dipole or a J-pole. So let me get this thing completely buttoned up and connected, and we'll see what's going on.